My name's Mary Ann Carth. I'm going to talk about truck underride, a road safety problem which engineers can help to solve. I learned about it the hard way on May 4th, 2013. I left my home in North Carolina on my way to Texas, where 4 of my 9 children were graduating from college and my oldest daughter was getting married. I was driving my Crown Vic with my 3 youngest when I came upon a traffic backup on I-20. I slowed down. A truck driver hit our car, spinning it around, so we went backwards into the back of a tractor trailer ahead of us. The rear underride guard, which met the federal standard, came off the truck. The back of our car went under the truck. My 2 youngest daughters were sitting in the back seat. AnnaLeah died instantly, and Mary a few days later. My son in the front seat was discharged from emergency that night with a minor concussion. I was in the hospital for a week, but I'm physically fine. The difference? Our part of the car did not go under the truck. All too often, it's not the crash that kills, it's the underride. That was the case in 2015 for Riley Hine when his car went under the side of a trailer, was dragged, and burst into flame. That was also the case for Roya Sadi 9 years earlier. Her car went under the side of a trailer due to icy road conditions. The trailer tire entered her survival space. Because the driver's side did not go under the truck, Roya's fiancé walked away from the crash. It wasn't the crash that killed Roya, it was the underride. Underride happens every week. It happens in every state. Underride happens to hundreds of people every year. That's why I'm on a mission to make truck crashes more survivable. The basic problem of underride is not that trucks are so much bigger than cars, but that there's a geometric mismatch, a vehicle incompatibility, because the bottom of large trucks are higher than the bumpers of passenger vehicles. So when there's a collision between the two, there's nothing for the car bumper to hit, nothing to stop the car from sliding under the truck. The windshield is the first point of impact, then the head and torso of occupants, leading to life-threatening injuries. Underride happens at the rear and sides of large trucks, but also at the front, when a truck rear-ends a car and in head-on crashes. Occupants of passenger vehicles are at risk, but so are pedestrians, bicyclists, motorcyclists, vulnerable road users. In fact, a common tragedy is when a cyclist is riding parallel to a truck and the truck makes a right turn, known as a J or right hook crash. The victim goes under the truck and is crushed by the back tires. That happened to Sylvia and Bingham in 2009. It happened to Robyn Hightman 10 years later. This photo is not their crashes, but it illustrates what happens to cyclists all too often. It happens to motorcyclists as well. The next video summarizes a century of underride history.
Your car's safety standards mean nothing if you are in an underride crash with a tractor trailer. The bumpers between a car and a semi simply don't match up. The first point of impact in an underride is the windshield and then the driver and passengers' heads. Imagine how many lives would have been saved if the 1896 and 1915 side guard patents had become the standard. If in 1967, comprehensive underride protection had become the standard following actress Jane Mansfield's death. If in 1969, side underride protection had become the standard as was then anticipated by the Federal Highway Administration. In 1977, the president of the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety warned U.S. senators that blood has been shed, heads literally have rolled, and countless thousands of Americans have been injured because these agencies did not act. Further inaction would be inexcusable. In 2002, the American Trucking Associations predict side underride regulations will be in place by 2006. In 2004, Roya Sadi is killed in a side underride crash. Her mother, Lois Durso, creates StopUnderrides.org, which has championed this cause ever since. In 2013, AnnaLeah and Mary are killed in an Underride crash. Their mother, Mary Ann Carth, starts AnnaLeah and Mary for truck safety. She has tirelessly campaigned for meaningful changes ever since. In 2014, the National Transportation Safety Board recommends side underride protection. In 2016, industry and victims come together at the first Underride Roundtable. In the following years, every major trailer manufacturer voluntarily strengthened guards to meet the new Tough Guard standard so that the rear of trailers are much safer and save lives. Now, we need to do the same for the sides of trailers. Trucking companies pay extra to add fuel-efficient side skirts to their trailers, but these do not protect against underride. The next step is protection for the side of trailers that save fuel and save lives. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety supports side underride guards for trailers. In 2017, the Insurance Institute performs crash tests into the side of a trailer. Here are the results with and without a guard at 35 miles per hour. Later in 2017, there is another crash test at a second Underride roundtable. Here are the results with a guard at 40 miles per hour. Trailer manufacturer Hyundai's chief sales officer says, "If the government makes them mandatory, we would of course do our best to implement them." As seen here at an Ohio rest stop in 2020, some motor carriers have voluntarily installed side underride protection. So now what do we do? Trucking companies could demand trailers with side underride guards. Trailer manufacturers could supply trailers with side underride guards, or the government could mandate side underride guards, ideally with the support of industry, because a government law or regulation will place all manufacturers on a level playing field. Side underride protection allows the energy-absorbing bumpers, crumple zones, seatbelts, and airbags in your car to protect you like they were designed. It's been over 100 years. The past victims and the potential future victims are begging, fix this problem now.
One thing to celebrate is that many engineers have put time and creative energy into researching and developing underride solutions. This was demonstrated by crash test research conducted by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. An initial round of crash tests showed that the rear underride guards produced by all major North American trailer manufacturers met the federal standard but were too weak. When the manufacturers went back to the drawing board, their engineers were able to strengthen their rear guards and be retested by the IIHS to win a Tough Guard award, as illustrated by the next video at 35 miles per hour. Unfortunately, the updated federal rear rule, which came out in 2022, still allows trailer manufacturers to sell new trailers with too weak rear underride guards. Over the past 11 years, I've had active communication with many people who have been interested in helping bring about change. Hundreds of engineers, researchers, safety organizations, families of underride victims from all over the U.S., in fact, all over the globe. One of these people is Aaron Kiefer, a North Carolina engineer and crash reconstructionist who reached out to my husband Jerry and myself in 2015. We're so thankful that he did. But now I'll let Aaron tell his story.
Okay, thanks, Marianne. Hello, students. My name is Aaron Kiefer. I work with a company called Impact Forensics here in Cary, and I do motor vehicle accident reconstruction and expert witness testimony. And starting in about 2015, I began prototyping and testing Underride guard products to make trucks and trailers safer and to create crash compatibility so Underride crashes can be prevented in the future. And I am a graduate of North Carolina State University. I was there from 1998 to 2002 for my undergraduate and '02 to '05 for my graduate degree. And so I'm going to run through some slides for you real quickly that illustrate hardware and testing that I've conducted. This is a rear crash test, and what you're going to see in the rear of this old trailer is an aluminum triangle. That's the blue metal structure there that's going to reinforce the rear underride guard. This is testing that was conducted at the North Carolina State Highway Patrol Testing Facility and Training Facility in South Raleigh. This is a 39-mile-per-hour crash to the edge of a guard. As you can tell, there are solutions available for underride safety. The safety skirt solution is what I've been working on since approximately 2015. It's a combination of polyester webbing and also lightweight metal structures to prevent underride. There are also other engineering solutions by another engineer like myself out of Florida, the Angel Wing solution, and also trailer manufacturers, in fact, do have engineered solutions available for side underride, namely patents and prototype devices. I'm going to share some more testing with you in the coming slides. This is testing done in 2023, again in Raleigh, indicating the differential between striking a trailer with no guard and striking a trailer with a side underride guard. That's test at 37.5, significant passenger compartment intrusion. This is a side crash test at almost 44 miles per hour of the same vehicle type into the safety skirt system. And so the crash energy is managed by the structures, and the occupant compartment is not damaged in the high-speed guarded crash. That would be an example of crash compatibility. That's my website. There's additional test videos available there to be seen. In fact, this is one of the safety skirt designs that we've road tested over the last few years. It's a full-length skirt for aerodynamic efficiency, and underneath that skirt is both steel and also polyester webbing. The reason that there are holes in the rear part of the skirt is to allow access for drivers to inspect the undercarriage of the vehicle. This is at a lot in Morrisville where I conduct some of the prototype assembly. You can tell that trailer has both side and rear reinforcements. So my work has largely been dedicated to building products that can be retrofitted onto trailers, because trailers live long lives on the roadway, 10 or 20 years, and there's a tremendous number of dry van and refrigerated trailers on the road that are currently not guarded. This is a video of road testing of the safety skirt product. You'll notice that there's a full-length trailer skirt for aerodynamics, but the skirt is also cut away at the rear to allow drivers to conduct pre-trip and post-trip inspections of the vehicle. So the safety skirt system has been crash tested and also tested in commerce. And again, this is a retrofit design that can be applied to tractor trailers that are in use. Our group is going to conduct a series of crash tests at the North Carolina State Highway Patrol Test Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. The testing is going to include vulnerable road user testing. which includes bicyclists, as well as high-speed crash testing. This type of work is valuable to the industry and to the motoring public to understand how side guarding can change crash outcomes. Unfortunately, the truck and trailer manufacturers are against side guarding. There are many claimed issues that in reality are overblown in our opinion. For instance, there are claimed operational challenges about a trailer crossing a railroad crossing or accessing a loading dock, or maybe not being able to carry as much load due to the added weight of the side guard. And of course, finally, the issue of inspection of the tires, wheels, and brake systems. So this is an opportunity for students to conduct research in this area to determine whether or not these claims really are influential or meaningful, or if side guarding really is a reasonable possibility. There are quite a few trailer manufacturers in this country, and those manufacturers are responsible for hundreds of thousands of new trailers annually. In fact, the majority of the manufacturers on this list hold patents for side and rear Underride guard devices. However, they are reluctant to put those devices onto the market. This is a video of a side Underride crash test that I participated in Washington, D.C. And I wanted to make special note of an engineer named Paul Hudson, who received his master's degree from NC State in mechanical engineering 2 years ago. Paul made dramatic contributions to Underride safety by handling finite element analyses for the products that he and I co-designed. And Paul passed away unexpectedly from a medical emergency. We want to share this slide to illustrate how this really is a grassroots and volunteer effort, and engineers such as Paul have made a tremendous difference. Our opportunities project going forward, one of those would be to research the claimed operational issues involving side guards. And a second is more of a design opportunity to do an internship or maybe even some graduate research related to Underride safety and Underride crash prevention.
Thank you, Aaron. I hope that this has provided a glimpse into the opportunity that engineers have to help make the roads safer.